Welcome back to Going for Gold with Gia. Today we have another special guest. He's a proud alum, a huge supporter of our program, and someone our epee squad knows well, Tom Henzler. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tom spends more time with the team than the coaches usually.
That is true.
In the fall, especially when the football season in session, and he comes here, visits us from Houston. So, Tom,
You can
You are
learn
a
a lot by
legend.
watching.
you are a
learn by
legend.
watching, yes.
Legend for us.
Although I'm surprised you like to come back during the winter months. Texas is the Lone Star State is really nice this time of year.
It is. And snow is, it's nice to visit, but not so much to live here all the time. But it's not bad.
Notre Dame alums are really smart. They know how to position themselves geographically, what time of the year to get the most out of it. So,
Yes, that's true.
well, I wish I could follow you in Houston
Come on
a
down.
month from now. Thank you for all you do for us, Tom, and you're a dear friend to all of us. Incredible supporter, and we could not be more grateful and honored to have you here.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Before we dive into fencing talk, we've got a few fun warm-up questions for you, Tom. You ready?
I hope so.
Your favorite fencing move?
Well, now that depends.
Speaking,
If-
interjecting here, Tom made the world team for veterans, so that's an appropriate question. So
For old
know that he's
folks.
not just an alum, he's also the current
Yes.
one of the best in the country.
If it's a right-hander, it's 8. Take him an 8. If it's a left-hander, you got to go with, in my view, you go with the high 6 because you got to protect this out here because there are always those sneaky lefties that are always coming around on you. So it's that high 6 to close them out. So,
Can you tell our kids the same, please? When they fence.
What's your go-to meal when you're back in South Bend?
I forget the name of it, but it's like this nice cheese, and then there's 2 pieces of bread. It was invented in Georgia. I don't know, maybe somebody
Good
knows
one.
the name.
I know the guy is awesome. I just fed him before we came here, so
So what's the
it's
name
called
of it?
hachapuri.
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 That's
Yes.
All right.
So we always have it in the freezer. the
Yeah, we
hachapuri.
do. We
Yes.
do. Who would win in an alumni versus current athlete match?
So the wheels have been spinning here. So let's start with foil. If you look at the alumni, you're thinking Garrick Meinhardt, Nick Itkin,
we don't. They're still fencing, though. That's still a part.
Marcel Oliveras.
Yes, they're 1, 2, and 3, or something like that.
And then you got this other lady that's not too bad, named Lee Kiefer.
Yeah.
And then we got Amita Berthier and Rebecca Candescu. When it comes to foil,
So we
the
have
alumni got it. The alumni got it.
Molly Sullivan, which was the legend for us, the 2 times NCAA champion as well from 90s. So,
But she's
so
not
that-
fencing anymore. I'm
yeah.
talking about if they showed up
okay.
today.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Alicia Krichavo, who's
Yeah.
right here, the 3 times NCAA.
No, but I don't think
champion.
they're fencing anymore.
They're not.
I'm
They're
talking
not.
about right now if we put them together. So I think the alumni have the foil. Now the saber, I don't know.
Well, Luke
We've
Linder.
got a Tara
Yeah,
Greenbaum.
Yeah.
Is Luke Linder still fencing? Is
I
Jonas
know.
Shaneberg? I don't think
no,
so.
I
Jonas
don't think
Shaneberg.
so. No.
So
But if you threw him back on the strip, I think
He's still fresh. He's still fresh.
I don't know about that. I think in saber the current team would trounce the alumni based on how they're fencing today.
would you rather referee?
Well, let me start by saying I'd rather be the water boy. I think that
In your prime, Tom. In your prime.
in your prime
Yes.
referee.
Referee. You would referee, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But Tim Glass, the legendary Tim Glass, was in the class with you. Is that right?
I was key to that first national championship. So I graduated in 1976, got out of the way, took all the bad karma, and then we won in 77 and 78. And you were correct.
Yes.
It was Tim Glass and Pat Gerard and Mike Sullivan in
Wow.
saber.
Starting a dynasty.
Yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
an incredible team.
I fenced with giants. You had Mike McCahey and Pat Gerard, and Sammy DeFiglio. I think Mike Sullivan, his saber record in his career was like 183 wins and 4 losses.
Wow. At least 2 titles is as much as I know.
Yeah, he had 2.
At least 2.
And Tim Glass was our first Olympian for the U.S. So Tim set the bar for everybody else.
What a
Incomparable.
generation you were part of.
Incomparable, Tim Glass, absolutely. So, and back then you could only send one in each weapon. You couldn't send two like now. So
Wow.
if somebody had a bad day, you were in trouble because 1 out of 3 versus 1 out of 6, you're up the creek.
Tell us more about how did you get to Notre Dame?
Well, I grew up in a semi-rural area of Missouri, and I thought I would just go to University of Missouri. I mean, my parents hadn't gone to college, and that was just kind of what people did. And I had a real good friend in high school that was a crazy Notre Dame fan. So he said, let's go to Notre Dame, let's go to Notre Dame. So I applied in Pittsburgh plate class, who had a mine and as well as a glass factory in the area. They sponsored scholarships 1 a year, and I won that scholarship. So it was going to be free. And I just showed up here in September. I got in and never visited or anything. So I ended up here. And then when I ended up here, I had worked in the family. We had a feed store and chickens and things like that. And I had an egg route. They would have things like this hanging up on the different poles, you know, join the chess club and join a debate team. And this one said, be a varsity athlete at Notre Dame, no experience necessary. So I thought, oh man, it wouldn't tell you what it was. But I show up and I found out it was fencing. And they had a night program. The first semester through December, 7 to 9 at night, Monday through Friday, footwork and conditioning. And then you come back in January and you choose a weapon, and it would be a group lessons, same thing at night. And then the next year you got to be up with the varsity. I did okay. I traveled once as a sophomore, and I lucked my way on. That's another story. We won't have enough time today to go into that. I lucked my way onto the travel team my junior and senior year. I had a great career. For me, you know, I got the letter 2 years and make all the trips, get on the bus. Coach DeChico, who put that together, was just incredible because he was basically like the proverbial, I'm sure you've heard of him, the proverbial one-legged man in a behind kicking contest, we'll call it. Because, you know, he had that night program. He was the only coach we had, you know, during the varsity from 4 to 6. And he also still taught a class in the engineering department because he was an engineering professor before he came head coach here. He was assistant coach and engineering professor. And he took care of making sure all the football players were academically eligible. When I graduated, he said, Tommy, he said, when I saw you out on that strip, I knew we were going to win the match. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I always told Tim Glass, the captain, never substitute Tom in there until we got our 14th win. So that's how that worked.
I remember 2013, we were competing at NCAAs in San Antonio. And first time I saw you on the stands and cheering, supporting. We kind of introduced it to each other. And then ever since, he's been a part of every national championship appearance for us. Except for the COVID year, that no one could be present on the stands.
Yes.
Tom's been everywhere. During the dual meets most of the time, and NCAAs, he's always there for us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm always there clapping.
How did Notre Dame shape you for your life?
You just, you know, go out there every day, do what you can. There's times when you don't have the winning hand. So I got out of Notre Dame, I went to law school, and I practiced tax, and it was an international offshore oil and gas construction company. And you learn, you just got to find a way. You try and control, like in fencing, you control the distance and the timing and everything. You try and go in there first and try and control where the discussion's going, and find someone over here, someplace argument over here, over there. You just can't necessarily win in a straight ahead attack. So it taught me to be very flexible, creative, and just keep trying. And all you need to find is that one weak chink, and you just take it home. And so I was very lucky in my career to have some success doing that, which ultimately enabled me to help Notre Dame out a little bit.
Tom, our viewers don't know that you're an incredible supporter of Notre Dame Fencing. Women's locker rooms named after you, and you give constantly with your time, with your whatever means, you contribute to our development. We're so grateful for that. What motivates you to give back as you are?
What motivates me is what I received. So I received all this from the program, from Mike DeChico, and all the fencers I got to fence with those 4 years when I was here. when you receive something like that, and you're in a position, and I know not everybody's in a position, but if you're in a position to give something back, just a piece of what they gave you, you need to do that. You really do. So that's why I'm happy to do that. That's why I give back a little.
So for contributors like Tom, we always give this national championship rings. Tom, how many do you have?
I've got 6. And you know what? That's the same number that he has as a head coach.
So we're
it's
equal.
a very, very, we're neck and neck.
Okay.
We're neck and neck.
Well, I know bragging, but I have 7 rings total. So our first one was our assistant coach. So I'm a little ahead of Tom, but he's chasing us. Okay.
I'm staying close.
We cannot get away from him.
No. He's gonna be reminding you that you need to keep winning some more to keep ahead.
It keeps him from retiring too.
I remember we were competing at Penn State during the COVID, and Miriam Grady, I remember like yesterday, it's 2021, she clinched the bout to secure us the championship. So we won it. So I ran to and I got my phone and called my family. So tell them, hey, we just won. You know, this was excruciating year for everyone. Obviously, a lot of other professions is a lot harder than athletics, but it was challenging for our athletes that year. How they had to conduct and the masks and the locker rooms. And I called my family and said, hey, we won. And then a second phone call I made. I called Tom and thanked him for all the support he's been providing and the guidance. And night before we talked, and every day we would talk and give him an update, and he would give us his feedback and his advice as well. And you were the second person, so without a doubt, you have been a huge inspiration to me as a head coach here and to all of us at Notre Dame Fencing.
That is very touching. I have to be honest. I actually thought that was a butt dial at the time, but no. Not that he says that. That is very.
No, we had a conversation.
Well, I know once you got me.
Yeah, when I realized that I was butt dialing, is that right? Coming back and being here means to you every year.
Oh, it means a lot. It means we're just getting better all the time. The culture is being maintained and improved. Some of these kids I become friends with by watching them in practice and talking to them. Some of them I've known since they've been 10, 12 years old, fencing at the same club I fence at in Houston. So
that's awesome.
It's good to see them, and everybody treats me well. You know, nobody's giving me this, what is this guy doing here?
Especially girls. If they don't treat you well, they're going to restrict them to go to locker room because it is named after you. So they're smart. Notre Dame kids are smart. But so much respect. There's so much love for you from all of us here, Tom. We're so grateful, and we're so lucky to have you.
For the fans out there, you saw Tom on Instagram briefly as he was sending the team off to the Ohio State.
Yes.
Tom shows up when we need him most.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. You told me, I said, when are you leaving? He said about 12:30. Well, it's kind of messy, so I kind of went out there at 12:30 and was waiting for that bus to go. And then as it started to roll, then I jumped up.
We had not a greeting party, a departing party or something by one person, and it meant a lot for everyone. So we felt like, okay, we cannot let you down.
Thank you. I appreciate
There's
it.
the footage. We usually don't get speaking of the greeting from 2017. We won the championships in Indianapolis. And we bussed from Indianapolis to here, and then we had a greeting party. We had cheerleaders and the marching band was there, and I would say 150 people that night. And Tom is on the first line, so it was always there. So Tom, you are a true Irish fence.
Thank you. But going back to that 2017, you may not have noticed, I wasn't there on the first day. So the results came out on the first day, and it was kind of like between us and Ohio State and Columbia, I thought.
We were tied.
We were tied.
Yes.
With Ohio State and Columbia right behind us. And I said, whoa, we got a shot here. So I hustled myself to Indianapolis and caught the last 3 days. And was proud to have.
That was the second biggest margin of the victory since Penn State, I think like a few years before. We clinched it the first round, end of the first round in the fourth day. Mm-hmm. We were so much ahead. I think you inspired us for sure.
Or scare him.
Let's close with something light. So we're going to do some quick hits Notre Dame style. Most memorable Notre Dame fencing.
My sophomore years, I got in against Michigan State and beat a kid 5-1. So that's my personal one.
You still remember that?
Well, yeah, I do.
It was quite a while.
And then, of course, as a spectator, the first one in 2017.
First after 2011. First one when you.
Well, yeah, when I actually was there.
There.
Yeah, I was working in 2011. So
Yeah.
now that I'm retired, I'm much more flexible.
Favorite spot on campus when you were a student?
Oh, I like being in that fencing gym. You know, up where the rowers are now. You know,
Old gym.
Oh,
yeah.
Jim.
Yeah, the old one. Yeah, the old one. Yeah, this was ice hockey rink down where you guys are.
If you had any advice to give our current athletes, what would it
Well, whenever they ask me that question, I always respond, time flies. You think you got all kinds of time here. You don't. Don't waste a day. Don't waste an hour. Take advantage of what you got, because you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be 70 years old and you say, where did the time go? Or you wake up and you're a senior and you say, where did the time go? So take advantage of what you got.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. And fans, that's a wrap for this week's Going for Gold with Gia. We love hearing alumni stories and how they shape this program, and we wouldn't be anything without them. If you got any questions for Gia or Tom or our team, drop them in the comments. And as always,
Go Irish! That's it easy.
Ready?
All right.
Ready, Tom?
Ready?
All right.
Tom, you're handsome.
You are very handsome.
You are. Can you believe he's over 70? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. 72.
You look very good for 72 years old.
Yes. I accept.
That was very good for 82. Yeah.
See, Tom, you need to meet my grandfather. He's also named Tom. He's a
Okay.
runner. He still runs.
There you go.
But he's 82 now. So you don't
You
worry.
barely
You're
beat me,
set
huh?
good.
My prime, I'll talk to you about my prime sometime. One piece of advice, next time get a good fencer up here.
Don't worry. We got that on the docket.
All right.
They're coming. Trust me.
Yes.